it's Nurses Appreciation Week, and I kind of want to give a little video on how much I appreciate you as nurses, with my tiny monkeys crawling all over me. So my dad was a nurse, but I remember when he came home, it was my nap time. So there were a couple times when he would take a nap with me, and he always had that like antibacterial dial soap smell. He would cuddle me and hold me, and we'd go to sleep, you know, for naps. I probably was about 3 or 4 years old. Now to this day, if I walk into a hospital or if I walk into a doctor's office and I shake a hand, or I meet a nurse or I meet a doctor and they have that smell, instantly, I'm like, it's okay. I'll be okay. I'm safe. When he was a CEO of a hospital, when they didn't have enough nurses, he would work all day as a CEO, go to work in his business suit with his tie, and then switch into scrubs and come home very late because his nurses needed him. His staff needed him, so he worked as a nurse. A great man and a great nurse. Anyway, so I had a nurse who was at the birth of both of my typical children, Tempest and Asher, and her name was Kayla. She was amazing. She was there when I had a panic attack because I had just had Asher, who was like 2 minutes old, and they give him to me, and I come to the realization that, oh my God, I have 2 kids that are 14 months apart. I have a special needs child. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. And she just was like, hey, you totally can do this. You know, you don't need to worry about it right now. You're holding your son. That's what you need to worry about. I'll always remember that moment. And I was able to enjoy the first 2 hours of my son's birth because I was calmed down so quickly. I want to tell you about a very special nurse that we had when Mosley was in her G-tube, getting her G-tube surgery. So my husband and I were there, and this nurse kept coming in. I think she was around like 12 to 7 was her shift or something like that. I'm not sure. It was the evening shift. Our floor was full, so we had, I think, 50. She had like 50 patients at one time. But she came in smiling. She came in when it was nighttime, when Mosley was asleep. She did her, like, she was quiet, she did it fast, and she was totally understanding. She was explaining the G-tube on what I need to watch for and all those things after I've had maybe 30 minutes of sleep because I'm exhausted and my husband's exhausted, and we're just trying to retain all this information. And she was like, I'm writing down everything. You can videotape this. You know, like, you don't have to worry about it. You'll get it under control. You'll get it under control. And I believed her. I was like, okay, this is great. I'm gonna go get something to eat. So I go down to the cafeteria, I have my earphones in, and it just kind of hit me that my child has a hole basically in her stomach that's giving her all of her food, and that this most likely will be the rest of her life. We always hope that we can end the G-tube and that she can graduate from being a tubie, but with Mosley's condition, it's probably never going to happen. And so that realization just kind of hit me. And I was just staring at my food, at my plate, and I was just weeping. And this nurse, she came over and she just sat down at my table and she held my hand. I see a lot of moms, I see a lot of dads who go through hard times and are overwhelmed and exhausted and guilt-ridden. But I just want to let you know that I think you're doing a great job. And I think she said something along the lines of, my favorite thing is to come in at night and watch you holding that little girl in your sleep while I check her pulse, check her blood pressure. And you always look at me and you're always worried about her. You're a great mom. And I know you can do this. This woman didn't know me. She knew me as far as her patient's mom, but she took the time to really sit down and really tell me, hey, you can do this. And I get that all the time. People always come to me and they always say, you know what, you're doing a great job. You're killing it. You're a great mom and you can do this. But that nurse, that stranger, You are an angel. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget feeling like it's okay today. I'll be okay. And so not only when I smell soap do I think about my dad, I think about that nurse. And I think about Kayla. And all the other nurses. All my friends who became nurses. Who were amazing. But just so you know, I have to see nurses constantly. I don't think that I could do this, be a mom to Mosley, without the support team I have. And when I count my support team, I can help my husband and my family and my church and my nurses. My nurses who go out of their way to make sure my daughter is safe. I love you so much. And I am so thankful for you, and I am so appreciative of you. Just know, your job is so important to so many people.